we're going to start, obviously we need to learn how to do hand wraps because since we're going to start the punching part of the show, I'm going to show you how to do hand wraps. I use the Mexican style hand wraps. Haven't used other hand wraps that you can buy here in the United States in about 30 years. So in saying that, for me and for you, I use two rolls on one hand. Some of you have smaller hands and or females are in the lighter weight division, you're going to have smaller hands. So one of these would do you good. Or even the young kids that are amateurs, one of these would do good per hand. I use two. The first one, I roll it 4 times around. This is going to be for the padding for my knuckles. And your hand wraps are going to vary. I mean, I've been doing this for what? 40 something years. And it changes all the time. It's never really the same. You're going to go around your knuckles 4 or 5 times, whatever you feel. Nothing more than that. You don't really need it. And you'll hold it with one hand. Now, between these 2 fingers on the hand that you're going to wrap, because we're going to start wrapping with our right hand first. And this is for southpaw and or right-handers. It doesn't matter. So you just grab it between. You want to lay your knuckles probably right in the middle of it. Okay, in the middle, right here. So you want to lay it on top of your knuckles. Roll over your hand. Come back under. Kind of just hold it with your thumb. It may look a little messy, and that's okay, because the next one is going to clean it up, and it cleans it up right away. Now that you have the rest of it, what a hand wrap really does is so you don't break your hands, so you don't get the boxer's break. And we're going to crisscross it, which tightens it up, makes it better for your hand. And I like a high wrist hand wrap. Some don't, and it's per your choice, it's whatever you prefer. I like mine to sit about a little high. Some like theirs a little bit lower. It's your choice, whatever you want. So I come back up. And from here, I start the X. It comes up and over. I go around my wrist, and I might go around it twice. Just for good sakes, if not, one time is fine. You come back to your pinky, your baby finger. You go back around. You go back up over your wrist. One time, you back around. Now, hold it there. Now we're going to go in between the fingers. We're going to bring this through here, and when you pull, especially when the Mexican type hand wraps, don't pull too hard because they will tighten up. So don't do it real loose, but don't do it real tight because they're going to get tighter. You go through your fingers here, lay it down, turn around this way, and you can come back over. Come back over your wrist. So it's almost, you're just coming through and going back over your wrist. You curve your wrist again, you come back over to the other side, to your other finger side. You're going to go back on the outside, come back around on top, and you should end up with about this much left on your hand wrap. If you don't, it's okay. Wrap it around a little bit more. Maybe go over your knuckles again. As long as you end up here. And or you can, whatever you prefer, you can bring it back down over here and curl it. So it's a preference. I like to curl it. If you ended up with up here or down here, tape it. Just hold it. A little piece of tape will do. It doesn't need to be that much. Hold on, let me grab another one. Now we're going to finish it off. We still got one more finger to do. So we're going to start by grabbing your thumb, come over one time, go back over to the top, go around my wrist, and if you notice, I'm going to go a little bit higher, not much, maybe a 1/4 of an inch, a little bit higher. I'm going to start wrapping it down, and I'm going to bring it through the middle of my fingers, right here, come back to the outside of the little finger, come back up. Now this time, here's where it gets a little tricky. We're going to start taking care of the thumb. We're going to go around once. We're going to come around the thumb. We're going to go around it. And we're going to take it back over to this side. Well, that's actually better if you go around this side because you want to completely cover that thumb, okay? You want to completely cover the thumb, the edge of the thumb, go back around maybe once, then go back over the thumb again. so that you get it good. And now I like it a little bit tight, so it all depends on you. Now the tighter there is, the more firmer it's going to be, the less breakage you're going to have on your hand if it gets that tough. So I like mine a little tight. Then you go back around and come back to your knuckles. Now the main thing of boxers, you want to protect your knuckles, okay? So if you have a little bit more than me around your knuckles, that's okay, because that's what you're hitting, that's where your power's at, is at the end of your hand with and it hits with your knuckles. That's what you really want to protect. So if you want to go over your knuckles 2 or 3, 4, 5 times, that's fine. And then after you're done with that, you can bring it back over the top. You can go a little higher. I like mine just a tad higher. Right there is fine. I like my hand wraps there. I just come back around. I bring it around. So I don't have so much tape. You always end up with about this much when you're done. If you can end up with that much, or maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, whatever. Your hands are bigger or smaller, doesn't matter. Me, I come back, I tuck it underneath, I pull, tuck it underneath, and pull, tuck it underneath, and pull, tuck it underneath, and let it sit. What that gives you is a bar to hold in your hand. So it gives your hand something to hold on to so that your hand stays tight. Now when we start the punching aspect of boxing, is what I'm going to want you to do is have a tight fist, loose shoulder. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's do the other hand real quick. First one, grab it. Oh, if your hands are getting a little tight, it's because I forgot to tell you, open up your fingers a little bit. So when you put it on there, spread your fingers. Because remember, this is elastic. It's going to shrink back, okay? So it's going to tighten up. So when you do it, make sure your fingers are spread open like this. And then grab it. See, like my fingers are spread open. I'm going to go around 4 or 5 times. I do mine, I think 4. It doesn't really matter. 4 or 5, you're good. Take it, hold it like you did before, put your knuckles in the middle, go around. Then the second one's going to clean it up. Go back over your wrist. Now, if your left hand's a little different from your right hand, that's okay. It's no big deal. The main thing is you pretty much get it. And if you don't get it right the first time, keep trying. You'll get it. You're not going to be hitting nothing yet today, so there's no dire need of trying to make sure you got it perfected. It does take time. It's not that easy. I'll tell you, every time you do it, I almost guarantee it's going to be a little different. I've been doing mine for almost a lot of years, and it still changes. It'll change from hand to hand. So as long as you get it, and it kind of looks like the other one, you're doing okay. It's fine. Now this is one that's going to clean it up. We're going to finish up going through the thumbs. I'll go around the thumb too. A little bit. Oh, went through the fingers. I go through the fingers. Yep, I went through the fingers. I'm gonna go around the thumb now. Come back around. Remember, you want to have a tight wrist. Your wrist, don't make it too tight because it's going to shrink. It'll crunch back up. But so your left, it's still going to look the same. It might be a little different from your right. No big deal. It's not going to kill you. You're not going to go out and break your hand. Most important thing is cover the knuckles. Get it, fold it, pull it down. Give yourself that little bar to catch so that you can hold. Make sure that'll make sure it gives you something for you to grab onto. And that's kind of it. That's how you wrap your hands. We'll go over it again and again. If you have questions, man, hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up. Let us know that you're having problems with your hand wraps. I'll slow it down. We'll do it a little bit easier. Whatever it takes to get you to do it right, this is what we'll do. We'll be back in a minute. Thank you.